Francis here from E-MTB Review, and I'm here to show you one of the most fascinating bikes in my commuter bike collection that I'm getting ready for a shootout, and it turns out to be the least expensive one. Hang in there and learn about this compelling package right here. Okay, what we have here is the Velotric T1st ST for $1,400, and it kind of blows me away. I even took it to Sea Otter. A lot of people are asking about it. It goes, oh, slick bike, what manufacturer is that? And there's a lot going for it. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna analyze it in 10 different aspects. That I'm gonna analyze all the bikes that I have in-house for test, and I'm gonna give you pros and cons, and just kind of show you a lot of footage of me riding this in some cool destinations. Okay, so here it is, the Velotric T1st ST Consumer Direct. I've never heard of this company, so I was like, okay, whatever. And they kept sending me specs, geometry charts and whatnot. I go, wow, for a commuter bike, you guys sure are on top of it. But when I got it, I'm like, oh, okay. The first area I'd like to rate it on is the packaging and delivery. So very responsive. This company came nicely packaged, everything was well protected, very easy to assemble, not a scratch on it, protection where it needed, and lo and behold, boom, it's complete. Has a through axle front, so it made, you know, one of the key things you have to do with these bikes, it's 95% assembled. Just put the front wheel on, boom, done like that. Next most important thing I'd like to analyze it on is the motor power. The motor is a hub motor, 350 watts out there in the back, but something unique is it has a torque sensor. So it is very smooth. You know, I've just come to realize that hub motors can now have torque sensors for not too much money. So for 1,400 bucks and it has this, pretty darn impressive. So it is a class 1 bike, meaning no throttle. That's class 2 and 20 miles an hour. And class 3 is 28 miles an hour. So class 1 for this has a nice indicator here, your switch and all your modes and your battery indicators right here. And then you have a mode here for lights and power level, assist level, okay? Third category you need to know about is the battery. How is the battery, how long does it take to charge? So the battery is 350 watt hours and it takes about 6 hours to charge. And it's good for about 53 miles of mostly level terrain, a little bit of effort on the rider. So number 4 is, what about electronics, displays and all that? It has a nice module here. They had to drill a hole in the top tube. So this is actually pretty tech. A lot of e-mountain bikes, $10,000, they don't even have this yet. Where it's integrated here, colored lights, and then a switch, a nice switch, and a 5 light indicator for battery level. It also has an app that is compatible with Find My Apple device. So, you know, if someone steals your device, somewhere in here is a chip that's hidden that says where the bike is. And what's really cool is if someone steals it, you'll be able to locate them. But what I've noticed is, you know, while I was on my road trip, whenever I left it in the hotel room, it says, hey, you forgot your bike. Your bike is being separated from your phone. So pretty cool, because I wasn't too familiar with that Find My feature. All right, number 5 is the weight. How hefty is it? So the weight, they said is 36 pounds, 36 and change, but when I weighed it, reflectors, kickstand, lights and everything, it was 38.8. So really 39 pounds. And this is they have a small, and this is the medium large. It fits me well. I'm only 5'8". All right, number 6, here's where we get to the important stuff. How does it ride? How is the power delivery? You know, how does it work with a rider? And let me tell you, it's kind of shocking because it rides like a lot of $5,000 e-bikes, where it senses what you're putting in, not how fast it's going or how fast your cadence is, your pedal, but how much effort you're putting in, and it just gives you a little hand of God action, and you can barely hear the motor. So a lot of times I was riding with my wife, I had to keep checking, is this thing on? Because I'm going up a hill, but I can't hear it. And you'll see it. I'm doing this to the phone and whatnot. Pretty darn amazing. It is so seamless that is an e-bike, both in looks, but really in pedaling and smoothest efficiency. You can barely hear this thing. Number 7 is handling and cornering. So, you know, I don't expect much, but you know, they sent me all these geometry charts. The reach was good. 71, 73 angles is what they have. So, you know, pretty road bike-ish style, and it handled really well. You know, it was so easy to ride. You know, a lot of these fat e-bikes are so cumbersome. You can't move them around, and it's hard to corner, especially in tight spots. This thing was so easy. Motor off or motor on. So first and foremost, it's a bicycle, and half the time I was riding it, I didn't even turn the motor on. All right, number 8 is braking and stopping power with e-bikes. This has become really important, and let me tell you, the braking on this is A+. These are Tektro hydraulic levers, probably the best in class for commuter e-bikes right now. Hydraulic means it's oil, so just like your car. Tektro is one of the first names in braking. I just visited their factory in Taiwan. Just an amazing shop. They make like 13 million brakes a year, but this is one of the better ones. All right, number 9 is lighting system. I really get sad when e-bikes don't have a lighting system integrated into it, because if it's in there, you're gonna use it. So what it has is a light right here, and it is a shaped light, so it's not just a round, so very good light, and it is not in the way. The cables are not in the way, so beautiful. A little downside, the rear, they didn't quite have the budget to put an integrated light on the rear, so it's a little harder to do. So what they do, they gave me like a clip-on light with a little battery, so good effort, but it would have been nice. I would have paid extra if this had an integrated light, because that way you can it's always on when you turn your front on, and you never have to charge it. All right, number 10 is the price and the value. The price and the value is $1,400, and the value is insane. I would say this thing is worth $2,000, easy. It's because of the quality, the paint, the packaging, the integration, the smoothness of it. It's just mind-blowing that one can have this bike for $1,400. Before I give you all the running video, now I'm going to give you some pros and cons, because my standard template does not cover some of the things this thing is really good at. So the first thing is, people see it and like, wow, is that even an e-bike? For them to hide the fact that it's an e-bike is very costly in design, materials, and build. So there's usually a controller, a motor controller right here. There's a hub, torque sensor right here. It's all hidden. The battery's hidden. Non-removable battery, because on all my e-bikes, I don't remove the battery anyway. Just charge it when it needs. When you do that, you're able to make it sleek as heck. So the integration is insane. Beautiful fork. You know, the fact that the bottom bracket is just pressed in there. You don't see the cups or the threads. Same thing with the headset. All right, number 2 pro is how smooth and how quiet it is, and how it handles like a bike. It's just mind-blowing. Super impressed with it. You know, I'll ride this, you know, if I need some exercise, I'll just ride around the block, motor off. It's that fast, that sleek. And then if I want to go further, want to go faster, motor on, you can hardly hear it. It's so cool, you know. I don't know which kid is not gonna want this for college, you know, which mom or dad, you know, for commuting to work. Really slick package, attractive as well. And you can have a rack. And then the last part I would say is the contact points and the details. So the contact points are the saddle. They call it Velotric, but it's made by Cella Royale, and it is beautiful. It is a beautiful saddle. In fact, I was riding this, my wife was riding something else. You want to trade? Because, you know, she's more picky about saddles, and it was so comfy. And the grips are good. It has these ergonomic shape here for your palm, so you don't have a dead spot here, especially on the road. The cables, you know, I gotta mention this. The whole mountain bike world is going towards headset cables, meaning the cables don't go in here. They just go right into the headset. And the reason they do that is to make everything tighter, sleeker, so the cables are not like a hornet's nest over there. And this thing has it. Just mind-blowing. How, you know, how does this bike have it for 1,400 bucks? I'll get to the cons before I jump to the conclusion. Just slight cons. So the kickstand is a little chintzy, you know, so when I'm doing some nice rad stuff, it kind of rattles a little bit. Also, it's a little short. I have it propped up on a rock right now. So it'd be nice if it was a little beefier, because, you know, this can take trail. The next con would be, it would be really nice if this can go class 3, meaning 28 miles an hour. I don't need a throttle. This thing is fast enough. The package itself is so easy to pedal to 19, 20 miles an hour. You hardly need the motor if you're pretty fit. But, you know, to go over 20 is a little hard. So with your motor, you'd be cruising at 25, 27 miles an hour. And to me, speed is safer when you're going through traffic. That way, because the difference between you and the traffic is not as much. So as long as you know how to handle a bike. So it would be nice if there's a 28 mile an hour option, if you can configure with an app, but this thing doesn't I didn't see that as an option. The last con, I would say, it would be nice to have a rear powered light. That way you don't have to deal with batteries. There's a phone holder here that's integrated, but you have to tape the receptor to your phone, which is kind of strange. So there you go. Enjoy the running footage. I'm gonna have a lot of adventures with this bike because it is just cool. You know, I'm gonna have to fight my son and my daughter for it. I think it's gonna see a lot of action because it's so seamless. It's so easy to move around, carry on the stairs. You know, it's just like a normal bike, but and it looks like a normal bike, but you got all the benefits of an e-bike. All right, thanks a ton, everybody.